What's up, everybody? This is yours truly, the American Juggernaut, James Himley, Big Red. I can probably throw out more aliases, but I won't. I am here with
Brian Kendall. I don't have any nicknames like that, man.
waiting.
Oh, well, there's Batman.
Ah,
from the liquor store.
Yes, bro. See, yep. That is insider info, but I'm gonna put you over. My man is Batman. You guys don't know this, but the B stands for Bruce Wayne.
Gosh.
The more you know. And we are actually recording right now from the Batcave.
Yes,
so
sorry.
There's that. I appreciate you all for taking and giving us some of your time. And this is part of the show where I tell everybody that this is not your mama's podcast. Man, I am doing this shit on autopilot right now.
Yeah.
Like, I really feel like I'm just... And I'm actually getting it all out, so that's good.
Oh, shit. Let's kick open that forbidden door.
It's like we've been doing this since like 2016 or something, and we know kind of what we're doing because it's like we've done this before or something.
Almost like that.
Almost. Well, should we cue the intro?
Fuck yeah, let's get it.
Let's go. This is not your mama's podcast. We're going to be saying some stuff that can, and let's be honest, will upset somebody's mother. So without further ado, let's cue the motherfucking intro. You know, I always get nervous when we hit record on this sumbitch, and then I think, oh, fuck, well, what are people going to think, and shit like that, but you know what, I don't care. A fucking Batman movie, rated R, dude, is totally just killing it. And did your ears bleed at some point? Yes, they did, yeah.
Therefore, by process of elimination, I do not like John Jones. Knowledge? It's a silent K. Our language is pretty fucked up.
Because you're a professional sleeper.
Hell no, Ryerson. He does the most badass Mexican on guitar of all time.
Carlos Santana.
Almost maybe instrumentally.
You can have it. It's all yours. I don't want it back.
Dude, no, he can play the guitar and it'll sound like he's fucking your mother and you'll be alright.
B2J.
B2J.
B2J the podcast. Things entertainment, baby.
What's up, everybody? This is
B2J the podcast, and we're coming to you from the
209
Stockton, California. Knows how to party.
We're not just the 209 anymore. They added an extra fucking area code.
What?
It's like 530 or 503 or some shit.
What?
Well, they ran out of numbers.
Huh?
You didn't hear about this?
No.
It's just a few months ago, man.
Bro.
But we're still the 209.
Yeah, don't fuck our shit up, bro. What are you talking about? I don't know. My area code is 209. If yours is, what is it?
No, mine's still 209. It's just they ran out of numbers. They had to add another fucking...
And it's...
like 530 or 503 or some shit.
With that being said, everybody with that area code... Sucks to be you, man. Oh, man, because, if you ain't from the Dub 9, you ain't one of mine. I don't know. I couldn't think of anything.
Hey,
so
that rhymed just fine.
Hey! All right, back to Mudville's favorite podcast, B2J the podcast. And like I'm calling this one the Payoff, and the reason why is because we're setting you guys up for what we're going to be doing this next upcoming week. We are going to be dropping shows Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4:20 p.m. on said days from now into infinity and beyond, with cool upcoming stuff that you guys have to look forward to. So this is the Payoff episode. We're going to set you up with what we're going to be doing. We are going to be doing the return of the Did Your Ears Bleed Pop Top 10.
Of course they bleed. They bleed out every fucking time.
I want to explain to them how that works.
Well, what we do is we take the pop top 10 in mainstream, and we listen to each one of those songs.
We analyze it, give it its own little retrospective.
And then we give you an answer on whether or not we liked it. If we like it, no, our ears didn't bleed.
And if our ears do bleed, which they
usually do,
more than most likely will, because neither of us claim to be pop fans, even though songs like "Can't Stop the Feeling,"
yeah, not all of it's horrible,
have came in, and that's how long we've been doing is Trolls. When Trolls came out. Oh, speaking of movies, good segue, James. Juggernaut, Big Red, Man of Many Aliases. And I'm talking to myself in the fifth person. Anyways.
There's a lot of good movies out right now. My wife and I just saw The Machine, fucking Burt Kreischer.
I just seen a terrible movie, The Little Mermaid.
Oh, shit.
Bro, here's where they messed up on The Little Mermaid, and I'm not gonna, this isn't spoilers or anything, so you guys can continue to listen. It has everything to do with the animation. Like, I understand, make it real, make it look as authentic and real as possible, but you know what? We are suspending our disbelief anyway with a talking crab, a talking seagull, and a talking flounder fish. Okay? So don't mess up my flounder, don't mess up my scuttle, and don't mess up my Sebastian. Okay?
I guess I get what you're saying.
Don't mess up my Sebastian. Don't mess up my stuff. I liked The Little Mermaid. I don't care what anybody says. I'm a redhead, okay?
Oh, shit.
She was my princess.
Sisters do have souls.
She was my princess.
So it's similar to when they made Sonic the Hedgehog. Everybody shit on the way he looked, and they remade him before the movie even came out. Except for they didn't.
The Little Mermaid was, like, musically, okay, here's the other thing, is you could have easily cut off, like, 45 minutes of that movie just by cutting off all the new songs that they added, because that new shit wasn't even necessary. It wasn't broke. Why'd you fix it? Understanding the fact that you are remaking all your stuff for live action. Okay, I accept that.
Yeah.
But why did you have to add unnecessary music that I didn't like? I can only speak for myself.
I get what you're saying. The shit's
Why did you make it
nostalgic.
2.5 hours long? Like, that's how it felt. Like, it felt like that movie was on for an eternity. All for one good joke. One good, like, haha moment was when Ursula was... Look, I don't know. She was like whining and then flipped it and she stopped whining and it was like hecka funny. And that was played by, I can't think of her name right now, but she's a funny actress. And that was that one part was good. Yeah. The music that I recognized was good. The parts of the movie where I recognized it was okay because the animation part of it, where the live action part of it, where it looked like Flounder was all yuckified and Sebastian was all weird looking and like it was like it's too real and I didn't like the too authentic part of it.
Yeah.
Like, we're suspending our disbelief already. Can you just slightly make it look real, but animated, but real, you know? Yeah. Because Flounder could have been better. And the crab could have been slightly, you know, cartoony. You know, it would have been all right. I guess I just wanted it a little more cartoony. And it was just a little too on the nose, and I didn't like that. And I just thought we're suspending our disbelief with these talking fishes, these talking birds, We're suspending our disbelief with a mermaid, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if mermaids exist, but if mermaids don't exist, we're already there in a world where they do exist, okay? Where they can just get legs and walk out the ocean and fall in love with with a dude and stuff, we're there, you know? So if we're going to be there, make it a little cartoony, please. If we're going to have song and dance moments, give me a good flounder fish. Give me a good...
It didn't tickle your nostalgia.
Seagull.
Right.
Take out the unnecessary music that we didn't need. And maybe trim it down to where I can see 2 movies in one night instead of, okay, I'm going to just see The Little Mermaid and that's it. And then I'm going to go home unsatisfied because I've had to sit through that all too realistic animation to where it just looked yuck. And I just gave The Little Mermaid a lot of this podcast.
Well, my one question at the end of it, though, is did your girls like it?
I took my girlfriend and her kids, and they did not like it.
Oh, shit. Yeah, well, then, I guess that's saying something.
And, yeah.
Well, shit, what other movies are out?
Because I wouldn't have... And yeah, that's just... Anyways, off The Little Mermaid.
Like I said, I saw The Machine. That was funny as fuck. But Bert Kreischer's hilarious, so there's that.
Yeah, my son wanted to see that movie. It's really good.
Yes, sir.
So, that's the same people that brought you Cocaine Bear, right?
It might be. All I know is the plot of the movie is Bert Kreischer, back in his early 20s, I think they said he was 23. He's in Russia, and the movie starts off with a guy's daughter taking him and Bert Kreischer's father back to Russia because
Russia.
He ended up with her father's watch, family heirloom, blah, blah, blah. And it's a basic plot. It doesn't sound like a whole lot, but the dude is hilarious if you've seen any of his stand-up on Netflix. And
isn't this based off of one of his stand-up skits or something like that?
Either that or something that might have happened to him.
Or it was done in a podcast or something like that?
From what my wife said, yeah, I think it was one of his skits.
Either a stand-up or... Which I definitely can get behind. I guess this is a great segue point for this, too. So, you guys, I have been... on an upward trajectory since last year as far as getting my name out there. I've been in rings, I've been on stages, and so
you've been around, you little groupie.
So your boy recently talked to a talent agent. And I shared this with you, but now I got to pay this off. This is the Payoff show. So, time to tell the world what I just turned down. Okay. I haven't told anybody this other than the people that I am around on a daily basis. So, I'm going to share. And you guys could email me or whatever at jmhimle@outlook.com. And you guys can let me know how stupid I am.
Oh, shit.
Or you guys can put me in movies or whatever. But, so... This is going to be kind of hard to share. Especially knowing that I'm sharing this with the universe. So.
You got this, man.
2 or 3 days ago. The last couple of days have been a blur. I was in a meeting with a talent agent who told me that she had 3 contracts available for me to be in as probably an extra. I don't know what kind of part it was. I don't know what it was. I'm going to assume I was going to be an extra, okay? Just because this is for me, just personally, this is just for me. Because if I had a more major role in the movie, I would be kicking myself in the face. Oh, sorry, 2 movies and 1 TV show. But I was offered an opportunity to drive out to LA and chase my dreams. And I turned down Bad Boys 4. I turned down Good Burger 2. And I turned down season 6, the last season of Cobra Kai. And now I want to throw up. But I turned it down because it was time away from my kids. It was not exactly the money that would have allowed me to take the time away from my kids. It was in LA. I live in Stockton. So the drive would be 6 hours there, 6 hours back, and then, yeah, it's just...
Turning it down for logical reasons.
If the pay matched and I didn't have to pay for, I had to pay for my own room and board while I was in LA, so I would have probably been staying in my truck or something. Yeah. Talk about a hard no, right? That.
I imagine that the agent that was talking to you gets people who think with their heart.
She for sure did not let me just walk away and say no. Since then, she's lit me up with other things and saying, I could keep you busy. Like, she could keep me busy, bro. And I'm sitting here like, busy isn't my problem. Having enough time in the day, that's a problem. Wasting some of my time when I could be doing a lot of things that could be helping my
bigger problem.
Yeah, I need to stop wasting my time. That's a lot of what my biggest issue is that I could be using some of this time. I'm playing my video game or I'm stressing about life, and I could just be turning it into this, what I'm doing right now.
Into gold, like
right?
Everything MJF touches.
Yeah, everything MJF touches. Back to what we were talking about after sharing that story. Man, we are getting through this podcast. This is wow. All right, I was not expecting to do a marathon today. I thought we were just going to get this through. So, what have we accomplished so far? So, Monday, back to what we were talking about originally. Mondays are going to be our music podcast.
Oh.
Wednesday is going to be our
wrestling
podcast. And Friday will be our
Did your ears bleed?
Nope, movie podcast.
Oh.
So Monday is music.
I'm high, man. You can't trust me to just know.
Yeah, Monday is our music show at 4:20 p.m. I don't know how long our episodes are going to be, but this one is more like a, hey, we're getting here, we're here. We're only dropping one show this week, so we're going to get it all in episode. And then, but as of next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, expect episodes at 4:20 p.m. because, why wouldn't it be at 4:20? If I can make it a thing, why can't I make it a thing, right?
You might as fucking well, hell yeah.
Might as fucking well, right? Okay, so let's talk about each episode, all right? Monday, the music episode. Let's dissect it a little bit. Like you said, that's our Did Our Ears Bleed pop top 10, it's also the return of the B2J top 10. And we're going to broaden our horizon a little bit as far as that goes. B, if you hear music that you feel must be in the top 10, country, rock, rap, anything, classical, anything, elevator music, shit, if you hear somebody, if you walk by and you record somebody fart and you hear it and you think that it sounds good enough to be in the B2J top 10.
In that case, there's a guy in the Walmart parking lot over here on March Lane, and I'm not even lying. The guy in the Walmart parking lot, he sounds like he should be at least at the Bob Hope Theater performing in front of hundreds.
Okay. All right. I didn't know where you were going with that. I thought you were going to go the fart route, but you were actually going, this guy's actually got talent route.
This guy's seriously out here playing his guitar in the Walmart parking lot. The things you see in Stockton, man.
Awesome. So, like, that we're going to have, well, I would like to, like, narrow it down to where they could at least look the music up on YouTube or something.
Yeah, I get you.
But it's got to be new also. That's our thing.
Okay.
New music only.
22 or newer?
I would say it's 23 and we're in June. Let's go there.
Okay.
All right. And then I want to showcase something like an up and coming, like here's what's coming out. Here's some new music to listen to as we go into the week. Here's something to look forward to that might be coming out that Friday. Shit like that. All right.
Yes, sir.
On to the wrestling episode on Wednesdays. So Wednesday, obviously it's the middle of the week, so we will have to talk SmackDown, possibly a premium live event or two based on AEW or NXT or WWE. Money in the Bank's coming up, you know.
Forbidden Door.
Oh, yeah, AEW. That's a thing still, huh?
Bryan versus Okada, man. You can't tell me Forbidden Door is not a big deal.
I guess.
He's like, it's not the real Forbidden Door.
It's AEW, bro. I'm not a fan. I'm sorry. I'm a big fan of some of you wrestlers that got fed false
hey, man,
hopes
I can understand
dreams
a lot
and
of the hate.
Narratives and
even as a fan of the shit, you see stuff like
of the shit. I love it.
You see stuff like Collision, and a lot of people don't think wrestling on Saturdays is going to work out very well.
Huh.
And I don't like the idea of them just making a new show for Punk alone, because that's what it seems like after him and the Elite get into it. So, but I mean, I guess Dark and Dark Elevation is no longer a thing. But they yesterday announced that 6-man tag. So the 17th, the first main event, is going to be Punk and FTR versus Samoa Joe, Jay White, and Juice Robinson. That sounds like a pretty decent match. But where do you go from there? I don't even know if the show's an hour or 2 hours long. So there's that.
So, developing hot ... Brian, I'm going to let you handle the AEW portion of this show.
Whatever works. I watch Dynamite pretty much every week.
I will handle WWE and NXT gladly, because my eyes and ears don't bleed when I watch WWE. When I watch WWE, but when I watch AEW, I'm okay with it up until I see car wreck after car wreck after car wreck, and I'm like, what is going on with the storylines? Don't make sense sometimes. And people like to bash. I'm not even a bashing type person. I like AEW. I've been to 2 of the last. I was at the Iron Man match with him. I was there. I was at the following
Dynamite.
with you.
Yeah. And most of that card is, you're right, was unmemorable. I think the main event was nice with Hobbs and Wardlow. But even then, I think Wardlow had just won the TNT title, and then it's back in March, and then Hobbs beat him.
No lies detected. Here's the truth. Here's the truth coming from me. The best part of those 2 nights that I was at, the best part of that was that I seen people that I have trained with, that I have wrestled with in the ring, I have bled with, I have sweat with, I have hurt myself with.
You got to literally see friends
perform on both nights.
AEW.
Outside of that, a lot of it was...
Well, see, that's what brings me to the Collision thing. That's what brings me to the Collision thing with that new show, or you might not get to see that again, ever again.
I was just sitting there just like,
They might not use the local indie talent like that no more.
I thought that it was really cool that I got to see some of the people that I've trained with in an AEW ring. That was the only thing. Like Jack Cartwheel, I've trained with that man, or I've actually, I've seen him. It doesn't matter. It was cool.
I get you, man. It sounds fucking awesome.
It was cool to see some of the people that I've actually really trained with, really sweat with, and
get their moment.
Get their little moments, Yeah. Which, more of that, less of the weird stuff that AEW's got going on.
Yeah.
Like, I just want to see good wrestling, and there is good wrestling, but you got to, look for the wrestling in the weirdness that they got going on.
They definitely do got a lot going on.
I just don't see it sometimes. I do like that they are pairing MJF with
Adam Cole.
Bebe.
Because after last night, that promo was fire on both ends.
I thought that it was great, and I loved that. But more of that. Less of the weird stuff.
See, I feel like having Punk have a match on his first night back isn't very smart. Maybe have a promo, have somebody interrupt him.
He already had his first night back on Collision, didn't he?
No, that's on the 17th.
Oh, Collision hasn't happened yet?
No. But I get what you're saying. He's already had his first shit back. His first match was Darby Allin after 7 years. That was the big payoff. And now it's just, can he? What's he going to come out to? Is he going to be a face or is he going to be a heel? Because teaming with FTR seems like faces, but he feels like he's just going to get just as many boos as he is cheers, But
it's in Chicago, bro.
Well, that's in Chicago. They're not going to stay in Chicago.
Yeah, but when he's in Chicago, he's definitely going to be a face.
Yeah. So that match makes sense. But going forward, I mean, a lot of people don't like the Elite either. Maybe there'll be a bunch of nights where he still gets cheered over them, and the crowd makes them the heels of the night.
As I'm wearing a Kenny Omega shirt.
But
you're saying people that like the Elite, huh?
A lot of people love the Elite, but a lot of people don't like them either.
I like Kenny Omega. I like the Young Bucks.
See, that's, and I do too. But there's a lot of people that think the Bucks are just spot monkeys. But
they're for sure that.
And I'm not so sure everybody agrees with Kenny Omega being the best in the world. I mean, you got
for sure.
Well, you got Bryan and Okada over here.
You got Roman Reigns, bro.
You're gonna put a hell of a match. Yeah, you got Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is
acknowledge him.
Roman Reigns is great. Yeah, I'll
acknowledge him.
Bloodline. I'll acknowledge the story.
Acknowledge Roman Reigns.
Same energy.
Acknowledge him.
Hey, Reigns is like.
I understand. They are them, and we're the ones.
Reigns is like Cena.
But
or
I acknowledge my tribal chief.
Or Austin or Hogan before him.
Okay, so while we're on the payoff episode, let's pay off another thing. Let's talk real quick about our Mount Rushmore of. I know that this is probably caught off guard. I don't even know if I have 4 just boom right there in my head. But do you have a Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling? A 4-headed dragon, if you will?
Well, Undertaker has to be on there first and foremost.
My man, rest in peace. Okay, yeah. All right, I agree.
And as much as I wasn't born until the early 90s, and I don't really care for the guy, Hogan has to be there too.
Fuck, I agree.
He made it mainstream. And after
this is where it gets foggy.
Yes, after that it's a toss-up. I can't not go Stone Cold Steve Austin. He's the number 1 draw of all time. Now I got to pick somebody I don't like. Or at least didn't like a lot growing up and I've loved as an adult. I'm going to go Brock Lesnar. Dominance and longevity.
What?
Dominance and longevity.
My man. Okay, so hold on. Let's lock it in. You going to lock that in?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, say it again. Say it again and lock it in.
I'll say it. I'll think about it all day if I don't. Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, and Brock Lesnar.
Holy shit. I'm actually shocked. I'm not appalled. I'm shocked. I will not agree with your 4, but I will put some respect on it because I wouldn't face those 4 against anybody.
For me,
because Brock would have to go over.
Part of it is me just trying to be unbiased. None of these guys were ever my favorite at any point in time. I grew up first with loving The Rock, and then it was Randy Orton, and now that I'm older, it was Jericho, and now Styles. But you get what I'm saying? I'm just trying to go with Taker when it comes to gimmick and staying in kayfabe for fucking decades. Hogan, he made it mainstream. Austin. And to think out of all the 4...
And Brock made it respectful.
And then out of all the 4, Brock
put some realism, brought some... a lot more eyeballs I feel
like I hated him when I was younger for the same reason. I never hopped on board with Cena or Reigns today. It's just... the storytelling is there.
I cannot argue with your top 4. Your top 4 is great. I'm shocked because it's totally 100% a 4-headed dragon I have never, ever heard before. Ever. I've never heard anybody put that as their Mount Rushmore. Now, my Mount Rushmore, okay? And then we could dissect it like we did yours. But it's hard to get off of yours because...
I can tell you, I kind of threw you for a loop with Lesnar.
It's not just Brock. You said, who did you say before Brock? Because Brock is a big one. That's Stone Cold. So you got Stone Cold, which I agree. Again, it's hard to argue. You got all 4 of them for different reasons deserve it. Undertaker, because he defines professional wrestling. When you think of professional wrestling, your mind goes to a couple different names, but you cannot unaffiliate The Undertaker with professional wrestling. Your second choice is Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, the immortal. Hulk Hogan was the face. He put so much money in the pockets of so many professional wrestlers. When he went to WCW, he solidified that brand and made it mainstream and made it compete with WWE. There would be no 6-figure contracts, 9-figure contracts in professional wrestling if it wasn't for Hulk Hogan and what he brought to the professional business, wrestling business. You want to talk about selling? You want to talk about merchandise? Nobody sold more merchandise than Stone Cold Steve Austin. Stone Cold Steve Austin never broke character and walked and talked that gimmick. And for me, I don't even know if it was a gimmick. I just think he was himself turned up to an 11.
Yeah. Taker's, it's gimmick. Yeah, Austin, that's more his personal character.
Hulk Hogan will tell you himself he is not Hulk Hogan. He is Terry Bollea. So,
yeah,
you know,
a lot of wrestlers nowadays, they get to
but Stone Cold Steve Austin is Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I feel like a lot
turned
of
up to an 11.
A lot of wrestlers should be thanking him and guys like Cena and Angle and Shawn
being
Michaels
able to
so they could be themselves.
Yep.
Guys like the New Day now, guys like Matt Riddle, they get to literally be themselves on TV
because of Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep.
And then Brock. Basically, if you ever thought wrestling was a little bit fake, go get in the ring with Brock Lesnar. Tell me that shit's fake. Go get in the octagon with Brock Lesnar. Tell me that shit's fake. I trained. I will get back into training very soon. I know wrestling's not fake. Firsthand. Now.
It's got to be our slogan on a t-shirt, man. What if wrestling's real and people are fake?
Wrestling is real and people are fake. Facts.
But to everybody else, you got to ask the question. You got to acknowledge that they have a chance of being right because they think they're right.
The only thing I acknowledge is my tribal chief.
They think they're right in their minds.
So I think we have gotten through your Mount Rushmore. Let's get back to mine. Hard to top yours, but I cannot use any of your four people. Just because I feel like I have to be opposite.
Yeah.
It's sort of.
Yeah.
Ric Flair.
Okay.
Ric Flair, the Nature Boy. I lied. Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan, for all the same reasons.
You gotta go Hogan over Flair?
No, I got Ric Flair and Hogan.
Oh, okay.
HBK, Shawn Michaels.
There you go.
And last but certainly not least, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson. For what he's done for the wrestling business.
Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels?
Because Dwayne Johnson
he made it Hollywood.
Is going to be the president of the United States one day.
I wouldn't be surprised.
And he's one of us.
Probably won't run until 2028 or later. Oh, I said that's home.
So, pulling up into the Bat Cave is the Grandpa Bat.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And then, yeah, I feel like with Nature Boy and Shawn Michaels, compared to my four, obviously those two are a lot more entertaining in the ring.
What?
Stone Cold's good in the ring in his own right, but
what?
More ring psychology is what I should say. But Stone Cold is more of a promo guy. You just want to see him. You want to be there. You wanted to, like, I didn't care to see him wrestle when I was a kid.
Who?
Stone Cold.
Oh.
In 2003 when I saw him.
I did. I loved him. He was a great wrestler.
They were good in the ring. And they had that psychology, and they told a story throughout the match. But
yeah, he was one of the best storytellers in that square circle than anybody.
But I feel like Nate and Shawn Michaels, they had more charisma, and obviously Shawn Michaels is the high flyer.
Shawn Michaels, Nature Boy. Yeah, I feel like my four are equally as well. I mean, we both got Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
So
Well, of all people,
I just don't feel like Hogan shouldn't be. I mean, I would almost want to take Hogan off just because he was the definition of 5 moves and out.
Well, yeah, but I feel like the people who hate on Cena and Reigns, they say the same thing. It's just all about who's marketable. And that's one thing I will acknowledge about our tribal chief is, like I said earlier, I hate on him for the...
the only reason why I don't put Roman Reigns on the Mount Rushmore right now is because he's not done yet.
Still active. Well, and that was a weird thing about Ray getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. How many get inducted while they're still going, and why wasn't Taker that guy?
Well, Bully Ray's in the Hall of Fame twice, and he's still going.
Yeah, but I feel like he's more of a tag team, and
as much as we all wish Jerry Lawler would stop, if you gave him $20, he'd show up to your local fucking high school right now.
Oh man! Speaking of stopping it, there's weeks where I hear JR and he
ooh, bro! Oh, I'm so glad you said
contract to end. He's like, it feels like he sounds like he has that sound in his voice like he sold his soul to the devil, and he can't wait to get out.
He puts over WWE just as much as MJF.
Nobody does it as good as MJF, and he's not even getting paid to say it. Or actually, he is getting paid to say it, but not by them. By TK himself. It's insane.
Man, I wanted to see what you were gonna say to that, so I just was like, I'm gonna let him hang for a minute.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
I love that. Why would you put over your competition like MJF does? Like,
well, deep down, I feel like he knows he's gonna be there in the future. So,
I'm a big Vince McMahon fan. So am I, buddy. What's up, bro?
That's the thing, man. Is the grass isn't always greener. It might be in general, but that doesn't mean it's going to be for you. And until I see L.A. Knight, with the Money in the Bank briefcase in his hands, I don't believe things have really gotten much better, and I don't think Trips has as much control as people think he does.
L.A. Knight is so fucking over, bro.
That's what I'm saying. But is he a Vince guy? And if he's not, he won't be winning that briefcase.
Dom Mysterio.
That'd be the ultimate swerve.
Is super over.
Yeah, but
Dom
shouldn't be in that ladder match.
He's about to beat Cody Rhodes.
You put Dom in that ladder match, they're gonna make.
They're not putting Dom in that ladder match. They're not putting Cody in that ladder match either.
Well, then deep down, maybe Cody's still the guy to beat Reigns, and they just keep him away for a while.
They are very, very good storytelling. I don't feel like Vince doesn't have creative control, but I do feel like Vince has a lot less like, hey, Vince, I know you want to do that, but I think that Vince definitely still has the final say.
Well, see, of course, Stephanie stepping aside almost assures that, and it's like, you'd think Nick Khan has to be the ultimate yes man, or else he wouldn't be in the position he's in. It's just, I don't know, a lot of shit since last summer when that stuff came out has been a lot better, but that's at the same time for WWE, shit has been
WWE right now is white hot.
I know. And a lot of it is,
right now,
a lot of it alone.
Every single thing WWE is doing right now, I can't say any of it is bad.
Yeah, that's a problem. But, I mean, most of it is going smoothly. Honestly.
Tell me something that's going that you don't like.
What do you mean?
What's going on storyline-wise that you don't like?
What do you mean storyline-wise?
In WWE, what storyline is going on right now that you don't like?
I thought we already
established that it's white hot and they're firing on all cylinders.
I'll agree with you. Instead of doing that, I'll go the opposite. I'll give you the one thing I like the most, and this has very little to do with WWE. or maybe their influence, or maybe it has a lot to do with their influence. Saudi Arabia. A lot of people like to say blood money. I say
Smart money.
since they've started, let's see how far Saudis come. When they first started, the women.
From my man, bro.
When
Come on. Let's go.
When they first started, the Saudis didn't. The women have next to no rights. They weren't allowed to compete. Now there's multiple.
Let's go.
Now there's multiple women's matches on the card, and then this last Night of Champions, one of my favorite moments in wrestling in general was when Sami Zayn came out, and the crowd fucking loved him. So
That happened.
He wasn't allowed there because of his Syrian heritage, and you would think once that treaty got signed with them, Syrians and Saudi or whatever, a peace treaty, that he comes out there and that they might not necessarily care for him. But Sami Zayn's so fucking over. I mean,
Bro.
I like
Facts.
I like the story with Cody, and I like his theme song more than I like Cody. I'm not a Cody hater, but I'm not really a big fan. Whereas Sami Zayn got an opportunity, and he took the most of it and got the most out of it. The story probably could have went a little longer, but it had already dragged out a little bit. For him to come out the way he did and to work the crowd and for them to love him as much as he did, that was insane for me.
I spoke fluently in their native language. Night of Champions, there was parts of that show, especially at that moment when he had that moment for the fans, for the crowd. And then even the moment for Zelina Vega in Puerto Rico. Those are two moments where I just was really emotionally invested. I got overwhelmed and emotional.
For someone you've never met in your life?
For Zelina, when Zelina Vega wrestled in Puerto Rico against Rhea Ripley, knowing that she had zero chance at winning, I still was able to just feel that moment.
Of joy for her to get her moment. I get it.
I felt that moment.
You got to imagine with the success. I mean, I get them. Puerto Rico is American territory or whatever, but when they go places they don't normally go, imagine how much of a pop Rhea would get in Australia or any of these. Like the relationship with WWE. Here's one thing I really don't like. Drew McIntyre carried the COVID/Thunderdome era, and now there's lots of rumors on the internet that he might not be re-signing. And he never got his moment in front of the fans. But I don't know the relationship. I don't know the backstage.
Drew McIntyre cannot think about... The politics is really simple, bro. You have to be a world shaker right now to get that belt off of Roman. They're building Cody to take that belt off of Roman. But he's nowhere near ready to take that belt off of Roman right now.
Nobody that is ready as much as they think they are. But for them to go out of their way and create another world title when he's already...
And then what, you're going to tell me right now that Drew McIntyre deserves that title more than Seth Rollins?
I'm not saying he doesn't, but he definitely deserved his moment.
He deserves a moment. He deserves his moment. And he did have his moment many a nights against Roman.
All I'm saying is they're supposed to be having...
But right now, Roman is the top of the pyramid, bro.
I don't know when his contract ends, but I wouldn't be surprised if it did before... AEW is going to be having that All Out or whatever at Wembley. That's in the UK, so if I was Drew and I wanted my moment, I might go get it there.
Drew Galloway is all elite.
So you never know. But I don't even know if the relationship is that bad. I just don't think he's been on TV since that WrestleMania Triple Threat match, has he?
I can see him as the next big name to go to AEW. Unfortunately, AEW is... got 5 years, and they got to turn that ship around. I'm not even going to say that they're going to get... because WWE needs AEW. We wouldn't have Here's where I'm going to put AEW over right now. We would not have the WWE that we have today if there was no AEW lighting the fire under WWE. Everybody seems to forget that. It's really like stupid that people would think, well, AEW just shouldn't exist. No, they need to exist so that WWE can do what it's doing. AEW just needs to turn their ship around so we could have more of a competition, because a competition between both brands would be best for business.
I think WWE learned from their biggest mistake, which was Vince moving NXT from, what was it, Tuesdays to Wednesdays? And then that was Tripp's baby, and he was doing it just fine. That roster that they had back in about the time we started, maybe like 2018-ish, NXT roster was arguably one of the best rosters I've ever seen. And
now they're all on AEW.
Yeah, well, at least half of them are. There's a lot of them. When you got Joe, you got Adam Cole. There's a lot.
Roderick Strong.
Mm-hmm. Well, the whole Undisputed era, obviously, but
they don't have Shinsuke yet.
They don't have Balor.
They don't got Balor yet. I don't think they're going to get either of those two people. But still, again,
it's just,
I am not trying to say that AEW should not exist. And TNT would be foolish to get rid of AEW. Anybody and everybody knows that both brands are needed to bring out the best in one another. But right now,
as a fan,
WWE is whipping out that WWE dick and making AEW suck it.
AEW's biggest...
So, what I'm trying to say is, hey, AEW, fix it.
AEW's biggest problem is one of Tony's biggest assets, too, is that he's a fucking mark.
Yes, that's your problem, dude. You guys are catering to the uneducated fan. Dude, if you guys would turn that shit around. Yeah, you're just catering to the... I'm sorry, we had to pause for the cause. They cater to the uneducated fan.
See,
to the mark.
Well, yeah. Smart.
Hey,
even.
Look at the cool move I can do. All right. I seen it. Cool move, bro. That's not a finisher.
And kick out the spam, kick out everything. That's the biggest problem.
Bro, yeah. You are trolling me. In real life.
You get that in a little bit in AEW too, or WWE too. I mean,
not as much.
You spam the shit out of the super kick. Everybody does.
Everybody spams the shit out of the super kick. If it's not Shawn Michaels kicking you in the chin, you're going to kick out.
Yeah, more 99% of the time they do. And that's the only problem I have with a lot of it.
That's not the only thing I have. If it's not Jake the Snake Roberts hitting you with a DDT, you're going to kick out.
Well, and then it got even worse. It's more unwatchable in the sense that you got guys like...
If you're not Jerry the King Lawler, you're going to kick out of a fucking pile driver.
That's where I was going. Adam Cole and Jericho arguably have one of the worst matches of the fucking century. But it's Jericho's age mixed with the type of match it was. He went for a Panama Sunrise, which is jumping off the middle rope and a front flip pile driver. That was the worst thing I've ever seen in my life in that match. I bought that pay-per-view, and that's the one thing I can say about that pay-per-view.
That pay-per-view is garbage, bro.
No, I didn't feel like I wasted my money. But then again, I'm a huge George Cassidy fan and started off hot. And then, yeah, there was...
You're our resident AEW guy, so you had to like it.
Well, no, I didn't have to like it. I didn't like the fact that the Fatal 4-Way wasn't the main event. But...
How about this? I'm going to go on the record and say this right now before you go on, and I'm going to let you have back your moment because I don't like stomping on your dick. I don't like talking over you. But I do want to get this out before I forget. That weekend was a huge weekend for professional wrestling. That was easily the worst pay-per-view of all 3 pay-per-views, and I'm telling you right now, Impact put on a better show, put on a better pay-per-view than AEW. You just didn't watch it, but if you had watched it, Impact put on a better show. It was $10. Impact put on a better show. That was the third.
It was $10
out of 3.
$10 pay-per-view?
That Saudi show was numero uno. You can't even argue. And then after that, Impact put on a better show. You can try to argue, but you didn't watch Impact. And then I did. AEW was the worst of all 3. Now, I'll let you have back your moment. Now, you can say that there was only one bad spot in that whole thing. I'll give you that the main event was tight. I mean, no, the main event was not tight. The main event was one of the reasons why I didn't like that show, because we had a better version of that match on Impact.
The Fatal 4-Way should have been the main event, but because they had Anarchy in the arena and they did fucking destroy in the ring, apparently that has to go off last. And
that Fatal 4-Way was tight, but then we're getting back to the fact that spots and spot monkey, spot.
Like you said, that the main event could have been tight, but that fucking super kick with the explosion has got to be the most. Dude, I'm surprised.
Hokey, bro.
I'm surprised Jim Cornette didn't have an outlaw mud show heart attack.
Oh, dude, I didn't even think to go and listen to that show, bro. That would have probably been amazing to hear him just go bananas over that shit. I do have to go listen to Corny show and see what the fuck he had to say about that hokey shit.
Again, I haven't heard of Jim Cornette's death, so
Jim Corny's
Iron Sheik.
Corny's tight. Rest in peace, Iron Sheik. Corny's tight. I know that he got canceled, but I'm a comedian, so I fucks with the canceled.
Why not?
I mean, not all of them. I mean, some of them are canceled for good reason. I will never watch Hyde the same way. I will hide from Hyde.
Oh shit!
If you guys know what I'm saying about that 70s show.
Oh, fucking never mind.
If you guys watch that 70s show, I will definitely hide from Hyde. Actually, I'd beat Hyde's ass. Now that I know what was going on, I'd fuck Hyde up. I'd beat that motherfucker down to a bloody pulp. I will. Yeah, somebody's fucking that ass right now. Somebody's making Hyde their personal bitch.
Shit.
And you deserve it, sir. Danny, take out that master, son.
Man. I seen that the first season of that 90s show. He's the only one not there.
Because he was hiding.
Even Eric Perry's still alive. He's the only one not there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Fuck what he's got going on, dude. All day. Every day. Yeah. So some people are canceled for good reason. Let's get off of that. We're a podcast of positivity. I could continue to talk shit on them. You guys might enjoy that. For which case, let's just get off that subject.
Some heck of wrestling, maybe, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, we'll be talking WWE, NXT, all that stuff on our wrestling show. Dude, we are an hour in. We are into this podcast, like, hardcore. Like, this is awesome. We love you guys. We appreciate you for sure. So this will be the part of the show right now where I tell you, please go out, tell at least one person a day passionately about B2J the podcast. Please. This is word of mouth advertisement. We do not We do not got this $1 million budget. We don't got any budget. We do this shit for you for free. And I never want to charge you guys a damn thing. So that, with that being said, tell your boys, tell your peoples about this show so that you guys can put this show over. This show needs to be put over by the fans. And then somebody will pay us, because that also needs to happen. We need to start getting paid for this shit, because we love doing it for you. I think we're good at it. So I think you're good at it.
I think so too, man.
All right. So finally, and we're going to end on this. I don't know how soon we're going to end on this, but we're going to get to our movie podcast on Fridays, where hold on, we got to pause for the cause. All right, you guys didn't even know we were gone, but we're back now. So Friday, our movie show. I personally will be able to tell you guys what box office hits there were through the weekend that was that prior Friday, and tell you guys what you guys need to be going and watching, me and Brian, because Brian's in the movies too. He was not into movies so much before he started hanging out with your boy, and then he got into that relationship, and then his girl likes movies, and now he watches more movies than me, motherfucker.
I just go on Tuesday nights, man.
I don't, you're on it. I don't get to, that's the thing I'm going to begin to do, but I just barely started doing it. That is actually a very inspiring thing that you guys go to the movies every week. That's awesome. That's cool.
I had a month straight where I saw Cocaine Bear, the new Scream, fucking name it.
Yep. The new Scream movie, by the way, really good. I thought it was great, actually. Really, really good. I did not think that Ghostface Takes Manhattan was going to be that good, because I was so into Jason Takes Manhattan up until the ending of Jason Takes Manhattan. And it's like that weeping Jason moment. It's okay, but on to back to what we were talking about. Which, by the way, Jason, you're going to fuck me up, because Jason's my favorite of all slashers. He is my guy. He is my slasher.
Hey, man, everybody got a preference.
Right? Who's your favorite slasher? Ghostface? Michael Myers?
Michael Myers, probably. I don't know.
Freddy Krueger?
Not even a huge horror guy, man.
See that? So we're gonna go through some stuff.
I'd go Freddy Krueger just because I saw the guy up close and personal.
Robert Englund?
Yeah, in Sacramento, when we went to Sacramento Comic Con. My wife got a picture, not up with him, but of him. Yeah, we were like within 10 feet of him.
He says he doesn't like horror as much as I do, but if you were to ask him what his favorite TV show was back in 2016, he wouldn't shut the fuck up about The Walking Dead, which is totally horror. 100% horror.
I mean, I love Stranger Things now, too, and Robert Englund was in an episode of that in, like, the fourth season or third season.
So you would have to say Freddy Krueger is your favorite slasher?
Yeah, the actor's a pretty damn good actor.
I love how you went from Michael Myers to... Now,
Back to Freddy.
Like, there's no way that anybody would be able to get me to say that Jason Voorhees is not my favorite slasher. Now, I will tell you, he's not the best slasher, but he's my favorite slasher.
Yeah.
But not the best. I don't even know who the best would, but that would be a fun argument. But you couldn't really. I'd be arguing with myself.
At the beginning, it's all about preference. Like I just admitted with my Mount Rushmore.
What's your favorite genre of movies?
I guess I'd like action comedy specifically. I don't know, because we went to the movies with my wife a few months ago when we saw Bullet Train. I watched that a handful of times over and over again.
Oh, dude, I just barely fell asleep to that movie the other night. By that I mean I didn't finish it, but for good reason.
I'm not even a big Brad Pitt fan, but that movie gets me. It's fucking good. So, action comedy.
I start movies and then something always ends up happening.
That's me.
And then I go to sleep.
I have to go to the movies to get a movie in, or else it won't happen.
Right. I went to the movies and saw Little Mermaid. Now I could fucking write a whole essay on it.
Oh, shit.
The last time I was able to watch a full movie, I think I watched, because I love the nostalgia stuff. So I think I sat through Teen Wolf, the movie with Michael J. Fox. And that was somewhat recently. And that was the last time I was able to sit through a whole movie and just be like, oh my God, this is feels so good. Yeah. Of course, I do got a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I am trying to have a personal life, going through a divorce, and my brother's passing away. There's a lot going on. Man. Yeah. So, okay, back to what we were originally talking about, movies, which we are talking about, kind of. We're doing the same thing, deep diving into it. This is why we do it right here. So I would like to, and I'm going to present this to Brian right now for you guys on the show. If I could find a way for us to both watch a movie a week and then be able to talk about said movie and deep dive and dissect it during our movie podcast, spend some time on it. You tell me the parts you liked about it, didn't like about it, your favorite actor in said movie, whatever we could do to dissect said movie.
Yeah.
I would like to dissect a movie a week between both of us. We both watch a movie and we bring it to the show and talk about it. And we'll let the fans know what we are watching before. We'll tell them we'll tell them the week before that we're going to watch this movie next week.
Yeah.
And then, all right. And we'll pretty much we'll switch off. You give me a movie, I'll give you a movie. You give me a movie, I'll give you a movie. Okay. And we'll figure out a way to watch it. If it's not streamable, we'll figure out a way to watch it. I want to dissect a movie a week in our movie podcast. And then, so that'll be our way of telling you, hey, we're going to watch this movie. You guys watch this movie. We're going to give you a movie to watch throughout the week. Isn't that kind of cool? Yeah. We're all going to do that together. And you guys could tell me what you guys thought of the movie by, again, sending all your emails. I'm going to get a better email set up, but for now, you guys just send it to jmhimle@outlook.com, and I will get back to you guys as soon as possible. Also, you guys can follow us on our Facebook page. Make sure that you follow the right one, because there's a bunch of them now, so it's probably the one with the most current postings. So look for B2J the podcast on Facebook and send us messages that way. If you think that we're cool enough to book for a show, you can send your bookings to us that way too, and we will put on a good show for y'all. We'll do all the homework necessary to put on a great show for you guys. I am a stand-up comedian, so therefore if you guys want to book me for stand-up, you can send, like I said, that email. I am also a pro wrestler, so book me if you guys want to do that. Wow.
You got it going on.
Wow. Anyways, I apparently am good enough to be in movies, so if you guys want me to be in movies. Oh, shit. I love you guys. I appreciate you all, bro. You got anything more you want to add? So let's run down real quick. Real quick, Monday, music show. What you could get out of that show is you're going to get the B2J Top 10. The Did Your Ears Bleed Pop Top 10. And we're going to give you some shit to listen to. Up and coming CDs and stuff that's going to be coming out.
He said compact discs.
Did I say that? The MP3s, shit. I don't fucking know. Hey, yo, you know what? Because I just wrote a joke about that. I just wrote, like, the other night I wrote a joke about my. It's a funny dude. I gotta run it by you. Yeah. So back to what he said. CDs, compact discs. Hey, I think they still exist.
I'm sure they do. Where's Rasputin?
So, okay. You want to go? Records are coming out, you guys. These records, all right. You got a record player in your truck? All right. The wrestling show. You're going to cover AEW. I'm going to cover WWE. We'll never run out of content because we're going to like we just did, we could fucking dissect wrestling all day, all year, all 24/7. Wrestling's our bread and butter.
Our niche.
And then movies. As you can tell, we're passionate about all three, you guys. And this has always been a podcast of positivity, an entertainment podcast. We want you to smile along with us. This is very therapeutic for both of us. We both got a lot going on in our personal lives.
No, don't give me that microphone now.
I for sure do. And I definitely love y'all. So, final words, bro.
All right. He ain't lying. Life ain't always ideal, but try to have that, like you said, podcast positivity. Try to have the glass half full mentality at least.
That's right.
That's what I've been practicing lately.
You control your mindset. So if you want to be in a bad mood, you be in your bad mood. If you want to be in a good mood, change your environment.
Come smile with me, motherfucker.
That's right. Come smile with us. B2J the podcast. And we used to do a thing where we would be. I didn't think about it until recently, but it was very negative. You made the list, the shit list.
Yeah.
The shit list. You made the shit list.
Jericho,
I love you. I'm going to change your list the way that you had it, and I'm going to be like, you guys made the list, but it's going to be a positive list now. So, because this is a podcast of positivity, and we're evolving. You could tell that this show is evolving. You could tell that we're getting better at it, even though we haven't been doing it as much. Like, something is working. Something is getting good, because look at how easily we just filled up 74 minutes, dude. Like that. Well, it's only 73, but, we're not done yet. I still at least got a minute in me. So, positive. Who do you want to throw on the list? Who did great? Who did amazing? Who made the list?
Well,
let me start, and then you could piggyback off me. WWE made the list. Vince McMahon, sir, you made the list. MJF will tell you, you made the list.
I'd say he made the list too. MJF, he ain't lying. He's the one bright spot carrying the company right now.
And
for AEW, yeah. Bert Kreischer made the list. He made me laugh a lot last night.
There you go. All right, Bert Kreischer, you made the list for this week with WWE and with alongside WWE. Y'all both are winning in life right now. Everybody in WWE doing their job. Bert Kreischer, sir, you're doing yours as well.
Yes, sir. I don't know what else to say.
We love you. We appreciate you. Again, tell at least one person a day, please, passionately about B2J the podcast. Tell them that this is your favorite show, if it is. And if it's not your favorite show and you just listen to it anyway, tell somebody about it. Please. We love you guys. Thank you for giving us, again, all this time. Wow, what a show. It feels great. We're gonna go hang out for a bit because we're never done with each other, and then we're gonna call it a day.
Month. You got to calm down, man. You can't word it like that.
Hey, I don't care. Whatever you think, whatever y'all want to think. I got a beautiful girlfriend. My girl is amazing. My girl's gorgeous. I love her so much. She's great. How about you?
Yeah, I feel the same exact way.
Thank you. Right?
Amen.
Let's wrap this up. All right.
Hallelujah.
All right. Later, guys.